Hi, welcome back to this tutorial on sky swapping. I'm going to be doing the more robust, perhaps the more elegant method this time, and I'm going to keep the same sky intermediate layer that we had before. The way I want to do this one is with a proper selection and layer mask rather than just using the layer mode blending options. So we're going to make a selection. I can do select and color range, and I think this is a bit more robust. If you have, say, a pale blue sky or something back there, this will still work. You might have to do more masking and more work with selections if you've got some similar colors down in the bottom. But in any case, you click on the area of the sky. You can kind of click in different spots. In my case, the whole sky is uniform, so it doesn't really matter. And also I can set my fuzziness down to a number around about 3 or 4 or 5, and it'll still work, because all of the sky is that color. If you had more of a sort of a natural blue sky with a fade in it, you might have to really work at the fuzziness, open that up some and do some more masking. But either way, this method works. So so you've made your selection, hit OK, and it will create a selection including all the little bits and pieces inside, all the leaves and everything. And then all we have to do is turn that selection into a layer mask, which we do with this layer mask button down here at the bottom of the layers panel. Now I think you just click that. Nope, I got that back to front, so I'm going to do a Control Z and undo what I just did. Okay, what I need to do is hold the Alt key and click it. I often forget which way around it works, whether or not it masks out the selection or masks out everything else. But anyway, there I've got my selection, and now I've got my mask. The cool thing about creating a layer mask for it, rather than just doing the layer style blend mode, is that I can now refine this selection. I can go to selection, refine edge, and what I want to do in this case is I want to contract the edge a little bit. I always get confused between contracting and expanding, and I guess my advice would be just to try it out and see. In any case, give that a whirl, and you can fiddle with smoothing and feathering as well. I'm using CS4. You might want to see what your version has. I think CS5 and beyond has a more sophisticated selection refining tool in it, and I'm not really sure why it created a matte white background for me. Maybe that was something I did. I'm gonna have to get rid of that layer though. I see, it was just for the preview of that contraction. So it seems that worked somewhat. Let's do that some more. And my computer's a bit slow, so I might have to skip through some of this. Okay, so that's a little bit better, and that gives you a sense of the power of that edge refining tool, and I've barely scratched it with this little video. The point is, it's a bit more of a robust technique for masking out that sky, because I can also go into my layer mask and use brushes in black and white to sort of brush out little areas, and then go back in and change it. And because I'm working on the mask and not on the image, I can easily correct mistakes and go back and forth and that kind of thing, and fool around with the edges and that kind of thing. So anyway, it's a better method, I think, and it'll probably work better with other images. So anyway, that's just a different way to do it now. Somebody mentioned using adjustment layers, and didn't really need to do that here. I could have used adjustment layers when I was working on the hue and saturation of this, and the contrast and that kind of thing. Basically anything that's in this adjustments menu tends to be sort of destructive, and if you do a layer, an adjustment layer, then it's more adjustable and non-destructive. You don't really have to do that, and I was being, whatever, confident or whatever, so I didn't have to go back and forth. But now it's been adjusted. If I don't like the hue and saturation, it's much more difficult for me to go back. I'd have to remove that layer and put it back in again. The masks are a little bit easier to sort of redo and undo and that kind of thing, but this video is really more about masking and selection rather than adjustments. But there's other tutorials out there on adjustment layers. Maybe I'll do one. So anyway, thanks for watching.